win shot. Swap round because you're a short ass.
Thank you. Right, all comments taken on board.
Hey, right.
Shut up and sit down.
That's for syncing audio, folks. Right. Okay, welcome to Karl's Garage. Episode 2.
Step in, please.
We've got Brad here with us and all.
Brad. Yeah. Karl.
Right.
Good evening.
Dave. How you doing?
Dave.
What we're reviewing tonight?
Right, tonight we have got my D90 Ascender and we have got Dave's Unlimited, beautiful looking Ascender.
I know.
And let me just point out, the only time you're
sexy.
going to see a clean car that we review is when it's not been used yet.
When it's only just been
with a new
finished.
shell.
Literally just been finished.
Just look at that truck. He's stunning.
Come Dave, get a bit of the chrome, get a bit of the chrome, look at that. Look.
Bit of the chrome there, look.
All
Look at
working
that.
lights.
Look at that.
Bonnet
Working
opens.
lights.
RC4 drive.
The Don. The Don. The
RCBitz.
no, this is from, what shell is this? This isn't the standard shell that comes with the Vaterra Ascender. It does come with a K5 Blazer, but the K5 Blazer it comes with is the 1980s one, which is the boxier one with square headlights.
But this,
this
Which if
one's from RCBitz. This is RC four-wheel drive. This was about 130 quid on its own, just a shell, but
just look at it.
look at how beautiful
The
that
attention
is.
to detail. Get a close up.
I
All
mean,
these
look,
parts,
look,
they're all metal.
These bits are metal. These are metal. Yeah, these bits are plastic. Your door, anything that's got a hinge on it,
The attention to detail.
they're metal hinges, you know. And I've gone overboard and put like
Little sleeping bed.
there's a little camp bed in there because you know
These wild nights.
wild nights out on the town. And also these are two wheels. The kit version of the K5 Blazer comes with standard 1.9s.
Have you
Gives
got
you that little bit more of an
have
advantage.
You got inserts in there.
No, these.
No inserts.
There's no inserts in there at all. These
Right.
are just air.
And how are you finding them when driving?
They're insane. It's a machine.
Would you say
Loads of
goes-
tyres available, but it's one of them things again, on a budget, if it is the case, you know, you run them without as we all have in the past, all different tyres, we've tried different sizes, running them without the foam seems to get a lot more grip.
Look at that. Look, you can literally.
It's just they just
But
compress.
it just allows the
and-
tyre to fold around
Yeah,
wherever
yeah.
you're crawling on.
And the advantages you had over
Oh,
rocks.
it's been insane.
It
It's
just-
been insane. It really has been insane.
It's just unbelievable. Just those wheels alone helps that truck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
much.
It's other than the shell and the wheels, this truck is all standard.
Is it completely bog standard?
It's completely bog standard. The shocks are bog standard. I've got to do a bit of adjustment on these because it's actually I had to shorten the wheelbase. Another plus point with the Ascender, folks, is it's got an adjustable chassis.
So we
So
can go
it
from
comes
something
max
this size.
length for the original Blazer, and then you can shorten it.
One of our other drivers uses
stick,
is it the wagon?
Yeah. He uses a wagon, and it's really long, and it's on the longest of longest.
But then the opposite to that is D90 on exactly the same chassis. That's there's the option. It can be shortened.
This again is a D90. You've done quite a few modifications this one.
I
haven't you,
have done
actually?
an awful lot of modifications on this.
Well,
not
not
to this one.
upgrades though.
Not upgrades.
Not upgrades, just modifications.
just
Which means
modifications.
that like there's no upgrades on either of these trucks. It was just modifications to get this D90 on it.
Yeah,
Because it was
It
it's
is
a
bit of
lot
challenge.
shorter. Even though this is on the shortest, I think that's shorter again still, isn't it?
It's on the shortest setting, but what I had to do was I had to cut the drive shafts down because they're on a sleeve.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the sleeves were too long, so I had to cut the sleeves down to allow it to go in and out. And otherwise, the drive shafts, it was just everything was too tight. It was way too tight.
Can you get this shell off?
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Do apologise about the wires. That's for all my lights.
Let's take a look so you can see what he's done.
So I had to cut this piece. I had to cut this down. It's literally about that long. So the standard ones would come to about there.
So the inside piece you've cut down.
Yeah, the inside piece. I think on the front I had to cut down both. Because otherwise you can't get the linkages in. It's way too tight. So
well, that would lock the suspension up and everything.
You couldn't get the truck together. You couldn't get the linkages on. The suspension was all bowing. But it's just plastic. I just cut them down with a saw. Took a gamble on the lengths and it paid out. You know, the D90 sits on it absolutely beautiful. The wheel diameter sits perfectly.
Yeah, we don't do accurate measurements.
No, we just jump in and see what happens.
No accurate measurement. The only other thing I can only fault with the Ascender is the top caps. You come down on the rear hard and they will pop off. They do pop off.
Well, there is one answer to that. Don't crash.
Yeah.
But then answering that in a sensible way, you are running a D90 with a full roll cage, so there is a lot of weight.
There is a lot of weight. Yeah. But then I have gone to the extreme of going with lightweight balsa wood
for the accessories.
Just to try and get that weight off the top. Because when I didn't have many accessories on there before, and it was tipping over every 5 minutes. But then does lead me to my second little modification I did.
Little modification. Can we have that modification again for the viewers?
I had a lot of people question, why does your truck not tip over? And this truck is going over 45 degrees now because of this little tiny.
I'd say. Yeah, very rarely now.
Yeah, it's got some serious articulation on it now, isn't it, as well?
It's not so much articulation, it's the...
with regards to the lean.
Yeah, with regards to the lean, it won't go because if you're an Ascender owner, you know about the Ascender lean.
The Ascender lean, the Ascender lean. Can you see it? Just digress quickly. I think you can see it.
It does. Is it
the Ascender lean? Have we got the Ascender lean yet?
Is she leant over? Or is she...
No, I think she's pretty level at the moment.
It's probably those tyres.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah,
keeping it flat. But no, it's through the torque.
Yeah, it's got.
It's a bit of torque twist. As soon as you start, mine tilts this way. So when I'm driving, it'll just sit like that.
But as you can see from my rear shocks, to stop the Ascender lane that we like to call, you can see that one side is 9 at the top. I've got a couple mil down, and on the other side, that is how much.
That's how much. Do you know what? I think I've done that with my shocks as well. We'll have a look in a sec.
But the truck does drive straight now because it was when you're driving along, it was a little bit frustrating with the truck looking so fantastic in the time you spent, but it was
it's sitting pissed.
Sitting at a
like a rough night out.
So again, you got your one from Model Spot, didn't you?
Yes, from Model Spot.
Yeah.
You're running it completely standard off and NIM as well.
Off and
standard. Yeah, off NIM. We've got 65 turn motor in there.
Surprisingly enough, my run time is over 3 hours.
That's 4,000. I mean, there's no super duper trucks. They're not going to go 100 mile an hour again. You'll be swing towards the Vaterra, the twin hammers if you was going to.
Yeah, if you want a bit of speed.
But that truck and this one we've seen, they can get over everything.
Yeah. Should we go back to my little mod I did on the.
He's still not shared his mod properly.
He hasn't shared his mod properly.
Those butted in with his fancy cargo. Pull this out of the way.
I just wanted to show you that the Ascender lean is on all the trucks. Mine's not as bad at the moment, but that one's sitting higher than that side.
But with a small alteration,
it can be the same on the front as well. And the only difference I've got in my truck actually is I run a 2-cell LiPo, and I've got a 55 turn in this.
And what sort of run time are you getting out of that?
Same as you, if not more. I think 6 hours has been max.
Yeah, I've got
not in one constant run. But
over the course
we've done the 4-hour run, and then I haven't bothered charging it, and we've gone out for another 2-hour run.
Oh yeah,
and it's still going. It's still going. But now I've finished digressing. Let's go back to Karl Brad.
So, John, get to the modification. I think I know it's about shocks.
I was continuously frustrated with it tipping over. Really frustrated. Every time I come up to a slight little hill, there's something on the end of my nose. I'm not going to give my little secret out in a minute. No, on a serious note.
Cool.
What I've done is simple little modification that will help anybody out with this frustrating keep tipping over all the time. So what I did was on the old nitro cars. Do you remember the nitro cars?
We do.
Going back some time.
Yeah, going back some time now. Nitros.
Do you remember the fuel line?
Yeah.
It was probably what, 6mm diameter,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
in the middle, the opening for the fuel to go through was say 2.5, 3mm.
Yeah.
And that is perfect size for the shock shafts. So what I did was I took the top cap off, took the springs off, took the bottom cap off, undone the bottom linkages.
Going in a lot of detail here.
We're going into detail here, yeah. And then I pushed the shaft through.
Okay. Yeah.
So now you've got your shaft, you've got all your shocks laying there, and I put a piece of probably 20 to 25mm fuel tube on the shaft.
That's what she said.
Oh,
sounds
right.
quite disappointing.
Well, I put it on the shaft. No lubricant used. Other lubricants.
Straight in.
No lube.
Straight in.
Just get straight on.
I'm not surprised. We barely touched the sides.
It went straight on. There was no arguments. It just went on. And what that's allowed that to do is now that shock shaft can't travel all the way down. But with the tubing, it's still a little bit flexible. So if you do have a hard bang, it still allows there a little bit of movement. You're not to damage that top cap.
So it's acting as like a restrictor and a dampener all at the same time.
So now,
You clever little bastard.
if you go back to this absolute beautiful machine, if I lift up the back, you'll notice the travel. You watch the rear shots. There's an awful lot. There's a lot of travel there.
Yeah.
Now if we go to mine, I haven't got the wheels on. If I lift the back of my truck up, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So what that now allows it to do is when I'm going over a hill and the truck starts to lean over, that dampener that I put on the shock shaft, it can't tip over. It will tip over on stupid
gradient.
gradient.
You may find it's more of a benefit if someone buys this car, wants to run it standard, wants to run it with a D90 with all its accessories. That's how you're benefiting from it. If you had it full chassis, normal length, blazer shell on, you probably wouldn't have the issue because it's a Lexan shell that comes standard with the car. So I mean, there's not a lot of weight in this one.
So what I've done that upgrade because of the weight, and that has helped me out massively. Like in our competitions we hold with RCSC on our hill climbs and stuff. Bring it up, RCSC! Yeah. Come on, boys. Yeah. This hill is steep. It's hard to walk up.
Cameras don't do it justice.
Cameras do it no justice. And we've had a couple of rounds, and there's a huge variety of trucks. There's young lads, there's ladies, there's grown men. It's fantastic to watch. The mixture of people and trucks, and the reception we get from the people from the local area.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
You've got 20, 30 people watching us with our toys, and it's great to see. But on that hill, that is seriously steep. That is really steep. And that truck just will not tip. If I go in fast and deep and steer in, we're going in fast and deep.
I think he's getting the hang of it now. He knows he's starting to know what he's doing there. I must say though, we've got to point out, get a bit of it on camera. It is good. I like his one more than my own one. Custom made bumper.
He's blocking me out.
I'm sorry.
You're standing in the way of that. You're standing in the way of that. But
right, it's a tough.
This is a fantastic beat route. This is a fantastic beat route of craftsmanship.
Look, I even drilled the holes myself.
Made by Karl.
Made by me.
You can't buy this.
You can't buy that.
You can't buy that.
The reason you made that though is because you find the standard Gelandi bumper, which a lot of people go for when they're running D110s or D90s. I don't know, what would you describe it as? In your face. It's too big. It sticks out too far.
Yeah, it's not.
For the D110, it's perfect. For the D110,
because
it's
you've got
perfect.
for the D90, it doesn't work, does it?
But for the shorter D90, that works. And because I copied.
Because you're going for trophy as well.
Yeah.
Again, it is still a lot.
Nice scale little truck.
Yeah,
stickers, look. Yeah, it's. What else we got here? We've got working winch, haven't we?
Oh yeah, winches.
Got a working
that
winch.
is a lifesaver. And I'll tell you, the power of that winch.
Your servo.
My servo.
No, he's
Savo
Proof.
15 kilo, is it?
Yeah,
So the only issue you had with that, you had to fit a Beck to it.
Yes, because it was drawing so much
It was
power.
killing all the lights on the rig. I mean, he is powering something like, I think that he's got something like 16 lights on his truck now.
4 on the front, 6 on the roof, and 4 on the rear.
Something along them lines.
Something
Anyway.
along those lines.
But yeah,
We go out in the dark a
killing
lot,
them.
so it's imperative.
We
to
live
have
in
lights.
England. It's dark
No.
all the time.
It's dark by 4 and pissing down rain.
Look, this is our summer. And it's dark already.
It's dark already, it's done.
But no, the servo has got so much power. It's a fantastic servo because it can be wedged in rocks and it's still turning a truck. It's the whole truck moves from the torque of this servo. That is, and it
It's
wasn't
the way
a lot of
you
money
found it
either.
getting down.
No shit, you got that cheap, didn't you?
It's the way you found it getting down the hills as well.
Yeah.
Rather than throttling and then having to brake, which can cause the truck to tip because of the weight again on top. You can wiggle your steering, it allows it to go
you
down.
caught on to what I was doing, didn't you? And you was going down into that ditch and I was wiggling away.
Picked up on your
style
style
of
there.
driving.
Seems to work, so why not all do it?
But the only thing as well was I modified my battery, the radio box. It was on the back, but when you shorten the chassis, it doesn't allow you to have the battery underneath because everything's so much closer.
Yeah,
So-
that's something that's different from mine actually.
Yeah,
I'll
so
point it out in a
the
minute.
battery should
Sit
get
under there.
the hand out of the way. The battery should go.
Normally sits under there. Finger in the holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The battery should go there, but I moved the battery tray on top, nut and bolted it.
Yeah.
Where did I nut and bolt it? I nut and bolted it somewhere.
Under it.
And it sits on top, and the standard size batteries they slot under the bulk and they sit really nice, and it gives you the weight on the rear as well. That is the only thing that when you shorten the chassis you can't have. You can't have a battery there. You have to have it there, and then you have to move all your radio gear up the front.
Yeah.
It's not very tidy, but I also put it there because the bonnet of the D90, if it does rain and you get caught out, it's waterproof, but it stops that driving rain getting into the radio gear, so the bonnet takes a lot of the punishment.
Yeah.
Plus, because it's all higher up, you can. I've seen you do it. You submerge the front.
Yeah. See,
wheels.
I've gone the opposite way on my truck. I've actually got. Let's move this one out of the way a minute.
Let's move it out the way.
Move it out the way. Right. If I give you that a minute.
Oh god.
Take that. Just point and shoot. It's easy. Right. Let's get this shit off.
Must point out, this is held
Or not.
with
This
Velcro.
is held with Velcro.
This is Velcro, folks.
Velcro. Actually, what did you rip off?
Take a note of the redness where he's struggling to
Look
get
at the
it
redness of that.
What was it? It's on my sawback, isn't it? My
Yes.
D90. We made a U bracket just to show. We made a U bracket to go under it, and I put Velcro on it so I could stick my 110 on it. And I pulled it off, and it bent the metal. It bent the metal U bracket.
Wow.
It was insane. But
that was a 20 gauge bracket.
it was.
That was a 20 gauge
But,
that Velcro's thanks
if
to
you can
active
see-
scale models, isn't it?
yeah, active scale models. Your Velcro is top notch.
Your Velcro is on there. It's ripping stuff apart.
If that
It's a
picks
little
up,
bit-
it's probably a bit
It's a little
dark.
bit dark.
Can I get?
And for future reference, selling that Velcro, you should actually put it next to all your adhesives and all your super glues because it appears that it does that much of a good job.
No, we're struggling.
No, we're struggling here to pick this up on camera. Hang on.
Hang on, let me. Have we got a
Have we
mobile
got
phone
a-
with a torch?
Got a mobile phone with a torch,
We're getting
folks.
there. We're
Get
getting
our
there.
mobile
get there.
phones.
There is one on the camera, but it's not playing ball.
Here we go.
Right, there we go. Bit of light on the subject. Right, yeah. So my battery plate. that ain't much better, is it?
Ah, there we go.
There we
That's
go.
it. That's it.
Point it under
Point
it,
it
bro.
down under. That's it.
Underneath.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. See, my battery's mounted in the front now,
Oh yeah.
and my radio box is still in the arse where it's meant to be. If Brad gets his
Hang
phone
on,
out. He's lost it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And I've got my switch glued
Just
to the
there.
side of it.
That's in a good
Yeah,
place.
that's the only difference.
That's-
I lie, it's not 55 ton, it's 27 ton.
Oh.
It's 27
What am I
ton,
running?
mate,
I'm running
You've
a
got 65,
65 turn. Yeah.
And I haven't actually run this properly yet.
But
I
again,
don't know how it's going to handle.
the main thing we must point out is they are still standard rigs.
They are
and that's
standard
the
rigs.
best way to run.
Little things.
I'd just like to say as well, there's some obvious damage on the back of my truck. I've had that for 18 months,
Yeah.
coming up for 2 years, and hand on my heart, I've replaced 2 bearings, and one of them is going to be that one just there. That one just there, and I have done absolutely
You'd
nothing.
expect to have to replace them
Oh, yeah.
with the abuse we put them all through.
Oh, they go through hell, don't they? Go through hell with these trucks.
So, do you remember what you paid for it roughly? I believe the price has gone up a bit now
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they are becoming more
They
popular.
are becoming more popular. I don't think they're out there enough yet. They £219
That's for the kit, isn't it?
kit.
£219.
£219. That was the best money I've spent in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, the instructions were good. They were good. I'm not a fantastic builder. I prefer to drive them. I built the truck. Just one little thing was the linkages weren't very clear. I followed the instructions and made all the linkages. I followed them by page, and I was moaning because I didn't have enough linkages. Because I actually found you out, didn't I? I went, no, you sent me enough linkages. And I went back through the book and read it properly, and I realised that I'd made all the longer linkages. I should have copied A2 or whatever it was, something like that. I can't remember what it was. But other than that, the instruction manual was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was quite clear and really easy to use.
I think a ready-to-run version is about 300 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still good.
300, 310,
Still good.
320.
They are
It's
still the
like a
cheaper
bit of
car.
discrepancy on that, but
Still the
again,
cheapest
we'll
car
put
on the
links
market.
down the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
so
yeah.
you can go and have a look for yourself. But I think if you're just getting into rock crawling,
It's the way to go, definitely.
buy an Ascender because the parts are cheap. Replacement, buy a fresh set of these is £9 off of eBay.
That's good, man.
Do you know what I mean? You can buy these. You can get all the spare parts off Model Sport as well.
There's still the original drive shafts that I had on the
Yeah,
car.
yeah,
They
mine
are
are as
the
well.
original drive
This,
shafts.
you know, this is all still standard.
Again, yeah,
All
that
still
is
standard,
a
they're just indestructible
it's
cars.
just good stuff to say about motorsport. Again, all the parts for all the rigs we're running, they've got. It's all available, and again, it's like next day delivery. So, yeah.
And with any
just cannot
problems,
complain.
they're back on
You
the
phone
phone.
them up and they bend over backwards for you, don't
Oh
they?
yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah,
Brilliant
really
guys,
good.
brilliant guys.
Good team, really good team.
So there we go. So
And active scale as well.
Active scale for his Velcro. Go buy his Velcro.
Can't buy his Velcro. I tell you,
You can stick your actual car bumper on again with his Velcro, and then you'll be alright. It'll be fine.
if anyone can pull it apart, please tell us.
because we can't.
We're breaking trucks and this stuff. Andy, I don't know where you buy it from, but it's good.
So there we go. That's a basic review of 2 different versions of the same car, the Vaterra Ascender.
Where's the hammers gone?
Where's the hammers gone?
Where's the
And
hammers gone?
obviously, I'll just dive down here to get my one that I
Just look at the colour.
There we go.
It's a sexy orange.
It's
So there we
It's
go.
a
That's,
sexy orange.
that's an African orange.
Yeah, African
I'd like
orange.
to say an African
An
orange.
African orange.
Yeah.
We hope this has been helpful,
Yeah.
and if you've got any comments, leave them in the comment box below, down there.
Don't let someone.
There'll also be some links to Model Sport,
We want the
Active Scale.
We want the
You know,
feedback.
give us your feedback. If you enjoyed it, if you thought it was shit, if you want us to just go and not ever do one again, please, please put it in the comment box, and we'll just totally ignore it. But no, drag it. Or if you want a more in-depth review, because this is just like a brief overhaul of the trucks.
We can go into more
We can
detail.
go into more detail. I mean, I think it might be handy. Our next review maybe will be on Cold Shop Mod for the Ascender, because that's quite an interesting one.
We'll do a breakdown.
Yeah, we'll do a breakdown.
And
of the shop
how I
mod
took
for
it apart and what I've done.
Yeah. Right. So watch this space. He's been Karl.
He's been Brad.
I'm Dave. See you later.